Hey cosplayers, welcome to the Cosplay Apprentice. With easy to follow tutorials, high quality products, and simple DIY templates, we provide you with the tools, materials, and skills you need to forge your favorite fandoms and make your dreams a reality. I'm Skylar Osler, and in today's apprenticeship, I'll be teaching you how to make a full body mannequin of yourself with removable arms and torso, and all it'll take is a simple trip to the hardware store. For this tutorial, we'll be using duct tape, tinfoil, PVC pipe, and the key ingredient, Sika fence post expanding foam. Now this little fella doesn't have a name yet, so make sure to stay tuned till the end so you can find out how you can help come up with his name. Stay tuned. Alright, let's dive in. To get started, you want to go to the store and pick up 3 rolls of 50-yard duct tape and a roll of tinfoil. Once you have that, grab someone that has a good 2 hours of time to spare to help wrap you in tinfoil and duct tape. Start at your ankles and wrap a piece of tinfoil around a section of your leg, followed by duct tape. I highly recommend running a couple long strips of duct tape up and down the leg, and then continuing to wrap duct tape around the leg. This helps make the finished wrap a little more structurally sound. Make sure to run the duct tape in different directions as you go and make sure everything is well taped with no gaps. Continue this process up your entire body and out onto your arms. A trick we learned when you get to the crotch area is basically create a tinfoil diaper with a piece running around your waist and another looped around between your legs. Continue to work your way up your body until you reach the neck, and then do each arm down to the wrist, and make sure to keep your arms at a consistent height and even distance away from your body. Once you're all tinned and taped, you'll be anxious and ready to get out. Luckily, the tinfoil helps create a separation between your underclothes and the tape, so it's fairly easy to cut yourself out. Have your helper mark a straight line down your back from your neck down to the bottom of your lower back or the top of your bottom. Make sure they make horizontal registration marks every inch or two along that line, and then they can carefully cut along that line. Make sure to be super safe using scissors as you go. Have your helper do the same thing on the arms from the outside of the wrist up to the elbow, and on the legs from the outside of the ankle up to the knee. Once each of these is marked and cut, you should be able to shimmy your way out of the tin and tape cocoon. Woohoo, you're free! You made it out! Say thank you to your helper for a bit, and let's get to stitching this duct tape skin back together. Using the registration marks, tape all of your seams back together. I found that it was easiest to take small strips of duct tape and literally use them as stitches to stick the two sides together in about 1 foot sections at a time, and then coming back and reinforcing the seams and taping all the gaps, and then repeating that process in 1 foot sections until it was all taped back together with no holes and very well reinforced. Now that you have your shell all taped back together, we are now going to cut it up into pieces again. In order to make your mannequin have detachable arms and torso, we are going to have to chop off their arms and cut them in half like Darth Maul. Do the same thing you did with drawing the cut lines earlier and mark your registration marks along the shoulder and under the arm, as well as straight across the waistline all the way around. Try your best to make the lines straight and symmetrical as possible. Then go ahead and cut those sections off. Once you have your mannequin separated into the different pieces, then you'll want to make sure to cap off the ends in preparation for filling it with expanding foam. So you will use cardboard and duct tape to cap off the wrists, the ankles, the neck, and the shoulder areas on the torso. Once you have all those capped off and taped up, with no holes, gaps, or seams, then you are ready to make the magic happen. Many duct tape dummy tutorials will have you try to stuff your dummy full of batting or clothing or gap-filling foam, but none of these really give you a firm, solid dummy to work with, and makes it pretty hard to have detachable arms and torso. So I experimented with something a little different, and it was a huge success. I found this amazing stuff at Home Depot called Sika fence post expanding foam. This stuff is amazing! It is used to fill fence post holes instead of concrete. It expands a ton, hardens pretty stiff, but is still lightweight. So to fill your mannequin pieces, you're going to want to have your helper come back over and help you with this part. Lay down plenty of garbage bags and cardboard to protect the ground you are working on, or if the weather is nice, do this outside. Make sure to wear gloves and protective eyewear. They've made this expanding foam super easy to use. Simply follow the directions on the bag and roll the bag toward the other one until the two fluids combine. Swish the bag around to get them thoroughly mixed for about 15 seconds. And then grab your scissors and cut open the corner and pour the entire contents of the bag out into your mannequin legs. Make sure your helper is there to support the legs and keep them upright and in a normal standing position to avoid any deformation as it expands and sets. Don't forget to stuff a piece of 2-inch PVC pipe into your legs to use for attaching the torso pieces together in the future. The expanding foam expands a lot and it gets really hot, but sets up pretty quickly and fully cures overnight. Follow this process for filling up the arms and torso. Obviously the arms will not need an entire bag, so you'll have to guess how much to put in and then pour the rest into the torso. Make sure to run a 1/2-inch PVC pipe through the center of the 2 shoulder areas on the torso and one in the center of the torso that matches up with the pipe in the legs so that you can attach the arms and connect the torso to the legs in the future. It is fine to let the foam expand above the mark because you can cut it down to be flush once it is set up completely. To give you an idea of how much you might need, I am 6'1" and I used 4 bags of this Sika mix to fill everything. Once all of your pieces have cured, you can trim down all the excess foam, but make sure to wear gloves, a mask, and protective eyewear to do so because it gets messy. With all of your foam trimmed down, you'll line up your arms and glue in a 1/2-inch PVC pipe coupler into the arm and trim down the extra pipe coming out of the torso so that the arms can attach. Lastly, connect the torso to the legs and pretty up any blemishes and add any cool logos that you want and you're set to jet. Congrats, guys. You just cloned yourself out of tinfoil and duct tape. Okay, so with that, now you have your own full body duct tape mannequin that's nice and sturdy, nice and strong. It's got removable arms so you can put your costumes onto it just to display. You can also use it to pattern things. So you're not having to stick stuff to yourself. You can actually see what it looks like. I am so excited for that, to be able to make costumes at a faster rate. This guy's going to help out a ton. But problem is, I'm calling him this guy. He doesn't have a name yet, right? So that's where you guys come in. In the comments below, give us suggestions. Let's hear what names you think. What should we name him? I want to hear. You can put as many in the comments as you want. We're going to go through after a couple days of comments, and we're going to pick our top 5 favorite. And then we'll put those out on polls on our Facebook page, on YouTube, and in Instagram stories. And whichever one of those top 5 gets the most votes, that's what the name's going to be. So you could be the one that ends up naming this guy. So make sure to comment in the comments below, give this video a like, share it with others so we can figure out what this guy's name is, and share this cool technique of being able to create a full body mannequin that's exactly your shape, because it is like indispensable for a cosplayer when you're trying to build your own costumes. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and cosplay on, my friends. See ya. Lost an arm. Bye.